What'd you take away from your first regular season game with this team, and how's the chemistry coming along?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously rough for me personally, but just being able to fight on both ends of the floor is something that I always know. If the shot is not falling, I can get it back on defense. But I know I have a better night tonight. But my team always believes in me. They put a lot of confidence into me. My coaches put a lot of confidence into me, and it just can tell me to keep going and keep going. And just being able to have a system that really has your back is really important, and I really appreciate it.
Angel Reese finally made the layup, and the entire arena lost it. She drove baseline, flipped it softly off the glass, and scored one of the most normal baskets you'll ever see in a WNBA game. 2 points. Routine play. Happens every night. But Reese celebrated like she had just hit a finals game winner. She flexed at the crowd, pointed to the bench, chest bumped her teammate, then pointed again. All for a basic layup. This is a player in her third WNBA season. A superstar with magazine covers, millions of followers, and one of the biggest brands in women's basketball. Yet the crowd reacted like they'd seen the most over-the-top celebration imaginable. And then came the boos. Loud ones. The arena instantly turned on her, and social media exploded seconds later. Some fans loved the confidence. Others called it embarrassing. But one thing became crystal clear in that moment. No player in the WNBA gets people talking quite like Angel Reese.
Anybody's basketball. When it goes up, it's anybody's basketball. And what Angel Reese has made a living at is saying, no, it's not.
That moment said everything. Not just about Angel Reese. Not just about the Dallas crowd. It exposed where this entire conversation around her career has gone. Because right now, the Atlanta Dream are undefeated. 2-0. Perfect start. The team is rolling. And somehow, Angel Reese still looks like she's playing every possession with something to prove. Every bucket turns into a statement. Every layup becomes a celebration. Every reaction feels bigger than the actual moment itself. And fans are starting to notice the disconnect. The personality is massive. The brand is everywhere. Millions of followers, non-stop headlines, constant attention. But when the celebrations start outweighing the performance, the public turns fast. That's why the crowd reacted the way they did. It wasn't really about one layup. It was about years of hype, expectations, and frustration all crashing together in one moment. And now the pressure around Angel Reese feels louder than ever. Let's be clear about what actually happened. Because the internet completely ran away with this story. Atlanta Dream versus Dallas Wings. May 12, 2026. Final score, Dream 77, Wings 72. And despite all the headlines afterward, Angel Reese wasn't even the star of the game. That was Alyssa Gray, who dropped 26 points and carried Atlanta offensively all night. Reese finished with 12 points and 16 rebounds, another double-double, her second already this season. Solid game. Productive game. Nothing shocking. But one moment changed the entire conversation. Somewhere in the middle of the action, Reese attacked the rim, scored a simple layup, and then delivered a full three-part celebration sequence that instantly took over social media. First the flex, then the pointing, then the chest bump, then more pointing. And within minutes, the clip was everywhere. Not because of the basket itself, but because fans could not believe the reaction after such a routine play. The internet replayed it over and over like it was a game-winning shot in the finals. And suddenly, the entire game became less about Atlanta winning and more about Angel Reese turning a basic layup into the most talked-about moment of the night.
Double toe, okay. Move that ball around. Good cut. Oh, another easy miss. Angel get all the boards. I don't know what that was about. Did they try to move the table on her? Okay.
And this is why the moment blew up so fast. It was never just about the celebration itself. Athletes celebrate all the time. That's sports. Emotion matters. Energy matters. Nobody is saying Angel Reese can't get hyped after scoring. But context changes everything. Because when a player spends multiple seasons getting criticized for missed layups, and then reacts to finally making one like it's a championship dagger, fans are going to notice immediately. The crowd already knew the narrative. They've seen the clips. They've heard the jokes. They've watched the misses get replayed over and over online. So the second the celebration became bigger than the actual basket, the arena reacted instantly. Not because they hated the confidence, because the moment felt unintentionally self-aware. And that's what made the boos so loud. It was almost like the crowd was saying, "Yeah, we know why you're that excited." That's the danger of modern sports culture. Once a weakness becomes a meme, every reaction gets magnified. Every celebration becomes a headline. Every ordinary play turns into internet fuel. And right now, Angel Reese is living in that spotlight more than almost any player in the league. And then Angel Reese made it even bigger. As the boos rained down, she started waving her arms at the crowd, almost daring them to get louder. And honestly, they did. But this wasn't new. This has always been part of the Angel Reese experience. The theatrics, the emotion, the villain energy, leaning directly into the chaos instead of backing away from it. Under the right circumstances, that attitude looks fearless. It looks confident. It makes fans believe you thrive under pressure and feed off the noise. But this moment felt different. Because when the crowd is booing after a basic layup, and when the criticism is tied directly to your actual on-court struggles, waving your arms at the fans stops looking confident. It starts looking defensive. The scoreboard already told the story. The shooting numbers already told the story. And the crowd knew exactly why the moment felt awkward. That's why the reaction became so brutal online. People weren't just reacting to the celebration anymore. They were reacting to the disconnect between the performance and the presentation. And in today's sports world, once fans sense that gap, they never stop talking about it.
Angel Reese, she tries to be a dog on the floor. She tries to be a beast on the court. But one of the two can finish around the rim while the other one is struggling to finish around the rim. Now, I'm going to give a little bit of credit here to Angel Reese. She was talking to the media today, and she admitted it. These layups are not that easy for me.
Now here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. Yes, the Atlanta Dream are 2-0. Yes, the record looks great. Yes, the franchise finally feels alive again. But when people use the winning streak to defend Angel Reese, they skip one very important question. Who is actually winning these games? Because in the opener against Minnesota, it was Tiara McCowan who delivered the clutch basket with 12 seconds left. Then against Dallas, Alisha Gray completely took over with 26 points while Reese finished as a supporting piece again. Across the first two games, Angel Reese averaged just 11.5 points. And in both wins, the Dream's offensive engine was somebody else. The closer was somebody else. The go-to scorer was somebody else. The player defenses feared most late in the game was somebody else. And that's where the conversation starts getting uncomfortable. Because Atlanta didn't make major moves expecting role-player production. They believed they were getting a franchise-level offensive force. A dominant paint scorer. Someone who punishes defenses, finishes easy shots consistently, gets to the line, and changes the entire floor spacing. But 2 games into the season, that player hasn't looked like Angel Reese. The most reliable interior presence has looked like Aaliyah Boston. The biggest scoring threat has looked like Alisha Gray. Meanwhile, Reese is still stuck in this strange space where the attention around her remains bigger than the actual impact on the court. And that gap is becoming impossible for fans to ignore.
That's a turnover. Okay, let's see what else we can do. Come here. Cookies. Got it took. So that was another turnover. Okay, let's see what we're gonna do right here. Work out. Block shot. Okay. Oh, threes. Didn't even hit the rim. Okay, Canada. Full court pass. Caitlin Clark pass. Okay. Nah, that's weird. You can't make some of this stuff up. Let's see.
To be fair, one part of Angel Reese's game has absolutely been elite. The rebounding is real. 15 rebounds per game. Leading the league early in the season. Crashing the glass every single night like her life depends on it. That's not fake hustle. That's not internet hype. That's production. Rebounding has been the most reliable part of her game since the day she entered the WNBA. But here's the problem nobody can avoid anymore. Rebounds alone do not carry an offense. At some point, your star frontcourt player has to consistently finish plays and put the ball in the basket. And when Reese opens the season shooting 4 for 11, showing the exact same scoring inefficiency people criticized during her Chicago run, fans start asking hard questions again. Because if the offense is struggling while other teammates are carrying the scoring load, then the team isn't necessarily winning because of you. Sometimes they're surviving around you. That's the uncomfortable conversation happening online right now. The Dream's record looks perfect on the surface. But underneath it, other players are doing a massive amount of heavy lifting offensively while Reese continues fighting the same criticism she's had for years. And that's why every celebration gets amplified. Every missed layup gets clipped. Every stat line gets debated harder than normal. The narrative around Angel Reese has reached a point where the branding, the reactions, and the actual production are all being judged at the exact same time. And right now, fans are noticing the gap more than ever.
Crossover, spin move, finish from the hip. Ah, damn. Oh, from the outside. Jab step, drive. Oh, missed all the rim right there. Fast break. Oh, shoot. Now, we've seen Angel pass this up numerous times. A play like this, we've seen her pass up numerous times. She took it herself this time. She took it herself up and bloopy. Damn. Oh, perfect pass. Dime. Bloopy. The question is, how much longer are her teammates going to want to watch this until they say something about this, until they're like, eesh, maybe we gotta ice her out a little bit.
And this is the part that makes the conversation around Angel Reese so uncomfortable right now. The 2-0 record is hiding a much bigger issue. Because if you really watch the games closely, Reese doesn't look dramatically improved from last season. In some areas, she honestly looks exactly the same, maybe even worse. Especially around the rim. The finishing problems people spent all of last year talking about in Chicago are still showing up. The awkward misses, the rushed touch around the basket, the blown easy looks that instantly become viral clips online. Last year, there were excuses people could lean on. Maybe Chicago's system was the problem. Maybe the roster didn't fit her game. Maybe the coaching situation held her back. Maybe she just needed a fresh start. Well, Atlanta gave her all of that. New city, new organization, new teammates, new coaching staff, a completely fresh environment. Coach Carl Smesko even praised her heavily before the season started, calling her outstanding in practice. The franchise clearly believed they were unlocking another level of her game. But once the actual game started, the same issues showed up again. The finishing inconsistency, the shaky free throws, the turnovers under pressure. The exact same flaws people saw in Chicago followed her straight into Atlanta. And that's why the criticism is getting louder now. Because once you remove every outside excuse, fans are left staring at the tape itself. And the tape is telling a story a lot of people don't want to admit yet.
What'd you take away from your first regular season game with this team, and how's the chemistry coming along?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously rough for me personally, but just being able to fight on both ends of the floor is something that I always know. If the shot is not falling, I can get it back on defense. But I know I have a better night tonight. But my team always believes in me. They put a lot of confidence into me. My coaches put a lot of confidence into me, and it just can tell me to keep going and keep going. And just being able to have a system that really has your back is really important, and I really appreciate it.
She said it herself after game 1. I didn't finish well tonight, and I was really hard on myself. And that part matters. That is self-awareness. That is accountability. That is a player looking at her own performance without hiding from it. But here's the truth: fans are starting to separate very clearly now. Self-awareness is not the same as improvement. And improvement is not the same as celebration. Because you cannot have a night where you openly admit the finishing wasn't there, go back to work, and then 2 days later hit a routine layup and react like the entire storyline has changed. That's where the disconnect happened in Dallas. The celebration didn't look like dominance. It looked like release, like relief, like a moment that meant more than the actual difficulty of the play itself. And the crowd reacted to that energy. Not randomly, not out of nowhere, but based on what they've seen over time. 3 seasons of the same player profile, the same finishing questions, the same reactions to routine makes. So when people say the boos were just hate, they missed the nuance. Some of it was noise, sure, but a lot of it was recognition. Because fans aren't just watching what goes in anymore. They're watching what it means when it goes in. And in that moment, the meaning wasn't dominance. It was surprise. And that's the part of the conversation that keeps coming back.
People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize.
All right, this is from the man's perspective. We're not watching an Angel Reese game unless she's playing against Caitlin Clark. On the other hand, we will watch a Caitlin Clark game when she's not playing Angel Reese.
There has always been a narrative attached to Angel Reese since she entered the league, that she is a star, a cultural force, a player who brings attention, fills arenas, moves merchandise, and lifts visibility for the WNBA in ways few athletes can. And to be fair, that narrative was never completely wrong. She does generate attention. She does move conversation. Her presence is felt far beyond the box score. But over time, a different layer of discussion has started to form around that idea. Because when people move from perception to numbers, the picture gets more complicated. Some attendance figures, preseason crowds, and resale ticket snapshots that fans point to online do not always match the automatic sellout effect that the hype suggests. In certain games and exhibitions, turnout has been strong. In others, it has been more modest than the viral discourse would imply. And in some cases, even when arenas are full, secondary market pricing has told its own story about demand being uneven depending on the matchup, timing, and opponent. This is where the conversation splits. One side focuses on visibility, social media impact, and cultural relevance. The other side focuses on sustained, measurable game-to-game pull. And those two things are not always the same. That's the tension sitting underneath all of this. Because Angel Reese is undeniably one of the most talked about players in the league. That part is real. But whether that attention consistently translates into the kind of on-court gravity and commercial demand people assume it does, is where the debate actually lives. And right now, that gap between narrative and numbers is exactly what fans are arguing about.